not the same. Want a house, y'all want J's. Want a wife, y'all want bays. Just pass, I'm all A's. Been the story of my life since I was of age. Found God in a maze, and now I'm amazed. Yeah, they only appreciate you when you be gone now. They screaming XXX like it's roll bounce. It's crazy to even say that I be on now. These rappers spitting young
Happy
bars. I guess
Tuesday,
I'm old
guys.
now. I'm way ahead of my class like I was hell back. Not just fishing for attention. Tell me
Thanks
where
for
the scales
joining.
at.
I
Like
think
it's
it's your
weighing
first
on
time
me,
ever.
man. Tell me
Well,
where
my
the
first time
scales
ever
at.
seeing your
Things
name
looking
pop up.
fishy. I'm
Thank
just
you
trying to bring the
guys
real
for
back. I
watching.
got a whole different walk, whole different view.
Hi,
Show me that I
Tyler.
win even when I lose.
I hope you're
roll
ready.
with the big three. My team one down. No weapon formed
You
against me.
guys,
I really see that
every
now.
Tuesday can be a struggle. I'm becoming
Not by
straight
chance, not by
boomer.
chance, yeah.
Had to
Not by
just
chance, not by chance,
bad hair
yeah.
day, but it's
Been a
okay.
whole lot of crying and a whole lot of crying, but I wouldn't
Give it a
take
few
it
more
back, not a
minutes.
chance, yeah. Ay. Not by chance, not by chance, yeah. This thing didn't happen by chance, yeah. Been a whole lot of
Jump
crying,
in.
whole lot of
Like
crying, but
always.
I wouldn't take it back, not a chance, yeah. Brand new man, brand new things, great to see that's in my veins. I was free when the
How's
land was
y'all
slain, can't
Tuesday?
find my own in my ammo
Y'all
team.
have a good
It's
day
like
today?
getting an iPhone when you had a Droid. We been endured for the night, but don't forget the joy. And y'all trying to change the church, I'm trying to change the world. People want the real, not always about the twist and twirls. It's like I spit the bill of rights, the way I spit is word. This just a spin off of the bill, like it's a different.
Well, first off, thank you for watching. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Thank you for joining Real Talk Tuesday with your girl, Joe. This is a platform where I talk to other entrepreneurs, upcoming business people, about their jobs, about what they do, what they love, what they're passionate about. I really have a passion for learning how they got started, what's making them, what gave them the fire to keep going. Because a lot of us start things, but we don't finish, we don't keep driving, and pushing ourselves. So, honestly, it encourages me to keep doing what I'm doing. So I'm just so thankful for the platform that, God blessed me to have. And thank you guys. I wouldn't be able to do this without you all. So before I even start, I want to say thank you. Hi for joining. I want to say thank you to Andrew for coming on 2 weeks ago. Pro Nanny. If you guys are a nanny, please go check her out. I posted her link and her stuff on my story. So if you guys are interested, want to sign up, please go check her out at Pro Nanny. And I posted her a lot last week, so hopefully you guys seen it. If not, she's still on my IGTV screen, so go check it out. Tonight, I have somebody amazing. Yes, come be a guest. I have somebody amazing tonight. She's actually my very first photographer that I've had on the show. So I'm super, super, super excited. Her name is Tyler. We're going to get to know her a little bit more. We're going to learn about her business, what she's doing, what she's, wanting to do in the future. So I'm super excited about that. And yes, if you guys want to be a guest, please DM me. If you know anybody upcoming, have a business, want free promotion, because I do free promotion, please DM me their emails or Instagram links, whatever. Please tag them, let them know I'm here, and I am welcome anybody. Anybody is a welcome on the show if you have a business. So please DM me if you're interested in coming on the show. So without further ado, I am going to invite Tyler now. Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
What's going on?
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. So usually I know everybody. Well, I've known mostly everybody on the show so far. You actually, I don't really know. So I'm super excited to really get to know you tonight and get to know all about your business, what you're doing.
Yes.
So are you ready? I asked
I'm
everybody.
ready.
Okay,
I'm
so
ready.
let's jump right in, sis. Let's jump right in. So my first question to you tonight, Tyler, is what sparked your passion for photography?
So, as you know, I do YouTube as well. So, when I first started YouTube in 2016, I was using my phone to record my videos and stuff. And then
Mm-hmm.
eventually, I don't know how I started taking pictures of myself to put on Instagram because I need to take pictures of my hair and stuff like that. So, I guess people were like thinking that I was taking my pictures with an actual like camera, but I really was just using my phone, and I figured out how to kind of manipulate and like edit my pictures so they can like look better. And then I think from there I was like, I might can do this.
Okay. Well, we're going to actually jump into that later in the show because I did peep that you have a YouTube channel, sis. So I'm
Yeah.
jumping that later. So my next question to you is when did you know you had an eye for photography? I know I just asked you like when your passion was sparked, but I feel like, a lot of people can. I think this generation now is nothing but photography. Everybody's taking pictures.
Yeah.
You're going to see everybody
Mhm.
at a restaurant, out, downtown somewhere in front of a mural, something. You're going to see folks taking pictures, but I feel like you guys that actually do it as a business, you actually have that real eye. Yes, I can take photos, but how you make them come out, like how you edit them, like I guess that's what I'm asking. Where did you find out you had the eye for it?
Right. So, like you said, anybody can be a photographer, of course. Like you said, there's plenty, everybody has a phone these days, so anybody can take pictures. I
Right.
think what I had to find out, because like I said, I started out using my phone, and then what I had to realize was using an actual like DSLR camera or a mirrorless camera, something like that, is completely different. And so
Right.
I really had to learn how to use the camera first of all. But I think what kind of made me feel like I had an eye for it was one, YouTube. I always got comments on the way I would edit things, and
Uh,
so I would always try to come at something from a different perspective. I've always been that way. I was the kid in school who, if you gave me a project, I actually enjoyed projects because I like to be creative
Me
like
too.
that. So I think that's really what it is. Like I just have like this creativity. So when me and my husband got engaged in 2018, of course we went and set up an engagement shoot and all that good stuff. So the day we were supposed to do it, it ended up getting canceled, so we had to reschedule it. So we were already out doing like a cake tasting or something, and we were near the venue where we were going to have our wedding. So we needed to find a park so we could go there and take pictures after our wedding. So we went, we found this park. We just so like we happened to be matching. So we were
Mhm.
like, let's just take some pictures. So I pulled out my tripod. I still use my phone, but like the way that we did the pictures, like you would have thought somebody else took them for us. So
Wow.
from there, I was like, yeah, I might actually want to be a photographer. Because at first it was just like an idea in my mind, but I never just like thought I could do it as a career or try to pursue it as a career path.
That is amazing. These phones, I've heard a lot of people have been saying, like, just use your phone. You don't have to invest into this, you know, expensive camera. What advice would you give about that? Would you encourage people to use their iPhones, or would you encourage them to invest in, if this is something that they really want to do, would you encourage them to invest in the equipment that you need to properly, I guess, execute what you're trying to do?
Yeah, I think it just all depends on what you want and what your needs are as a photographer. Because I know people who are out here taking pictures literally with their phone.
Yes.
And I think it
Right.
gives like, a different look. Like even within photography, you have people who take pictures with a camera that I use, and then you have people who take pictures with a film camera. So they're literally
Right.
putting film into the camera, and that gives a different look. So I think it just all depends on the look that you're going for. For me, I definitely needed to get a camera because I really wanted my pictures to be like crisp, and that's just
Yes.
kind of like the look that I like. So for me, I definitely wanted to get a camera. And of course, photography is definitely an
Yeah.
investment. If you're thinking
Yeah.
about doing photography, it's not cheap at all.
Right.
Like lenses, camera, all of that can get pretty expensive. So if you are thinking about doing it, definitely like be serious.
Nice. So, what camera would you suggest a first, somebody that's trying to get into photography or just trying to create content for Instagram, YouTube, or whatever? What camera would you advise everybody to, I guess, start off with? What's a good camera, a starter camera?
So I have a Canon camera. I find that the Canon cameras like the interface on them is just like very user friendly. Like if you've never used a camera before, you never held one in your hand. Like I never held one before I got my first one. It's
Mm-hmm.
very easy to learn how to use.
Wow.
Technically, the camera that I have, they would call it a beginner photographer camera, but it's still expensive. Like it was like
Right.
it's between like $700 and $800.
Okay.
But they go up to like thousands of dollars. So I feel like
Right.
for the photography that I do and the look that I want, I have like the cheapest setup I could possibly get for the quality that I want. And I
Mhm.
have a Canon T7i if anybody wants to know.
Nice.
Um, Yep. Or you can also probably get the Canon SL2 if you're interested in cameras. I know people like Sony, not really familiar with that, but I know people who vlog and stuff like that, they like to use the Sony cameras. They're small. You can put it on the tripod, you can hold it. Because the camera I have, you do not want to vlog with that. It's kind of heavy.
Gotcha. Okay, nice. So I guess thank you for everybody tuning in. I see people coming in. Hello. We're talking with Tyler tonight about her business. So my next question, Tyler, did you begin with like portraits or did you do like natural scenery first?
I started with portraits. I had no interest with natural scenery, landscape, because that's just something different. I was just used to
Right.
taking pictures of people. So my very first photo shoot was actually I did my brother for his birthday. So shout out to him. I did his birthday shoot. We went downtown to Atlanta. We ended up finding some parking deck, rooftop type of situation, and we took the pictures up there. And it came out pretty good for it to be like my first time using the camera, with someone. So
Nice.
yeah.
So I guess you said you weren't interested in like scenery. So like now are you interested in that or like even like foods? I know people like, take pictures of foods on Instagram, like just different little setups. Are you interested in those things now because you are a creator? I see. We're gonna
Yeah.
tap into a minute that you do like natural hair and stuff. So are you getting into like product shoots as well
Yes.
or is it just
Hmm.
um, photography of people.
Yes, I am into product photography. I actually, my very first product photo shoot was actually someone who knew that I started photography. She knew I had just got a camera. She had
Mm-hmm.
her own like jewelry business. So she made handmade jewelry and she worked with me. So she was like, Tyler, do you think you can take a few pictures for me so I can put them on my website? So I was like,
Right.
okay, cool. Like this would be, something for me to kind of figure out if this is something that I like to do. Because with
Mm-hmm.
photography, there's so many different avenues you can go down. So I was like,
Right.
I'm just do this for her. Because we was cool, we are cool, and I really liked her. I liked her jewelry, so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do it. So once I did, I was like, I kind of like this. So eventually I did my mother-in-law. She had her own like thing she was doing. So I did something for her. And then I got to Brianna because she owns Flamed Candle Co. So
Right. Shout
I
out
was
to
on yeah, shout out to Bree.
yeah.
I'm actually working on something for her right now, but
Oh, nice.
um I was scrolling through Twitter and she was like, does anybody know any product photographers in Atlanta? So I was like, I'm about to scroll right past this because I really don't do this like this. And then I
Uh-huh.
scrolled back up and I was like, I'm just gonna see what she wants and then I'll let her decide from there based off of the work that I already did. So she was like, oh, I
Right.
like your work. I'm gonna go ahead and do it. So basically doing hers really kind of like pushed me over the edge with it. Oh, my phone. Wow. Oh my God. I'm gonna just hold it. But yeah, doing hers really kind of like pushed me to really get into product photography for real because I really do like it. I do like setting up. It's kind of like setting up a mini stage for products.
Yes, that's what I was trying to get at. I couldn't think of the word
Yep.
staging. Perfect.
Yep.
Yes, and you do nice work. I
Thank
know Bri,
you.
I know I've bought her products, and of course, when she was live, you were the person behind the camera for her product images, so they are nice, A1. So
Thank you.
keep going, keep doing it, sis.
Thank
Keep
you.
doing it. So, as a digital creator, do you find it difficult to like shield your personal life?
No.
No.
I have no problem with that at all. Like, I'm not one to share like my whole life on the internet. And then the thing about what I do is I do my hair. So most people at this point aren't really concerned about anything else that I do other than my hair, to be honest. Um, so I pretty much just share what I want to share. I
Nice.
know like when it comes to being an influencer for a lot of people, you know, one of the things that they do encourage you to do is to share more of yourself because
Mm-hmm.
that's what's going to get people to be more interested in you and you know who you are as a person. So I definitely do share things that you know I want to share, but it's
Mm-hmm.
never out of pressure. It's literally because maybe I want somebody to learn something from something that I may have learned or something like that, but I never get like I try not to get pressure into doing anything that I just don't feel like I should do, you know.
Yes, ma'am. I understand that. That is true though, because you want your followers to not just know you for your hair or what you do, you know,
Right.
as a creator, but get to know me too, so they can really connect, with who you are. So yes, that's such a great point. So, what is your vision for your brand? And do you plan on expanding your territory in this field?
Yes. So, like I said, with photography, there's like so many, you know, avenues I can go. I definitely do love portrait photography for sure. I definitely do like product photography. And I'm also trying to get into real estate photography as well. So, like,
Ooh,
if you're a real estate agent and you need, you know, photos of your property, all of
yeah.
that good stuff, I want to do that. Because originally, before I was even interested in photography, I was actually interested in videography.
Mm-hmm.
So I know a lot of real estate um, agents and stuff like that are really interested in getting video, drone footage, all of that. So
Right.
that's something that I probably work on, you know, in the future.
Yeah, that's such a great market too. I definitely have a lot of realtor friends, so I will definitely keep you in mind. Tyler
Thank
does
you.
realty photography. Yes, ma'am. So what I guess area are you most passionate about? Because when I stroll on your page, I see photography, I see making videos, you doing tutorials, like and you have like hair, you do hair, you have hair products. So like which one of these things like really sparks Tyler? Like which one Tyler really connects with? Which one would that be?
I like them both. So I
Yeah,
think a lot of people, oh yeah.
this is
Shout out to my bro. That's
yes,
Antonio. That's my bro.
best, best
I
photographer.
just did a photo shoot for him and one of our good friends Sunday. And the
Oh no,
pictures came out so good. You might have seen them on my story, but they came out so good.
yeah.
Um and they really helped me out. So because it's hard to get pictures of guys. So I
Mm-hmm.
asked them to and they really helped me out. So I
Oh,
appreciate them.
so nice.
So what was the question?
I'm sorry, I totally went left. I'm sorry. I was just like,
I forgot
yeah,
a question.
a supporter. My question to you was, which one is like really sparks Tyler? Like, which one Tyler really connects with? Is it more like photography, making the videos, doing your tutorials, doing your hair, or having the hair products? Like, which one is it that really, really like makes you happy?
It's hard to choose. I'm like, so I try to separate the two. So
Mm-hmm.
my the page that we're on is actually not my photography page. My photography page, if you want to follow it, is T Simone Photography. So you can follow that page. That's where you can see all of my photography work. And then
Oh,
this page, I focus mainly on basically hair and just my personal brand, like as a
yeah,
person.
yeah. Okay.
Um,
Yes, tag that. Put that in the comments for everybody, please.
okay, I will. So it's hard to choose because I'm just naturally a creator. Like I just like to create, and I feel like me doing my hair allows me to do that, and
Mm-hmm.
then me taking photos allows me to do that, especially with other people. I don't have to focus on myself. I can
Right.
help other people. And the thing that I like about photography is that I get to work with other people. I'm naturally a people person. I
Mm-hmm.
when I went to college, I thought that I wanted to be a teacher. And I quickly realized that was not the case. I did not want to be no teacher. So I ended up not graduating, and I just kind of needed to figure out exactly what Tyler wanted to do.
Right.
And so all I knew about myself was Tyler is creative. That's all I knew. And I'm like, well, how is that going to help me? Right.
Right.
So literally starting my YouTube channel kind of made me realize like the talents that I have,
Mm-hmm.
the creative eye that I have.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was able to kind of like segue those talents into something that I love to do. But it's very hard to choose.
That's amazing. No, sis, I totally get it because I feel like I'm kind of on the same wave. I can't really pick a pick.
Yeah.
You know, I can't pick.
Yeah.
Basically, I just
It's
can't.
hard. It's hard.
Like different things, so I get it. I get it. I understand the struggle. So, what's your process in selecting products that you endorse?
So like hair products and things, or
Mm-hmm.
like for my hair.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, straight out the gate, like if it's a product that I already use, then that's like the easiest way to go. Because it's
Mm-hmm.
easy to talk about something that you already use. But let's say it's
Mm-hmm.
something that I've never used before. Like I'm never going to get on the internet and be like, I love this, and I really don't, you know. And, on my YouTube channel, I've reviewed things that I didn't like, but I'll
Mm-hmm.
never be like, oh, this product is trash. I don't like this. This is trash. Like, I'll never do that, but I'll just be like, oh, this didn't work for my hair. But if you have this type of hair, it may work for your hair.
Exactly.
Because at the end of the day, if a brand wants to work with me, I need to be able to show them that I can give a negative review without it being bad, like that
Ba-
bad. Yeah,
Without
bashing
the.
them.
Mm-hmm.
Right, because as a business owner, like if somebody were to critique something that I did in
Yeah.
in that type of way, I probably wouldn't like it. Just because,
Mm-hmm.
even if somebody doesn't like your stuff, it doesn't mean that you didn't put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into whatever the
Right.
product is. So I definitely try to keep that in mind, but I genuinely try to go towards things that I've used before, things that I know work. If somebody sends me something and I end up liking it, I definitely you know, talk about it, let people know about it. And then if I don't, then I just, I have to talk about it.
Got. Yeah, and it's like keeping the bridge, between the
Yeah,
businesses. You don't burn your bridge, and you don't know what
exactly.
out next. Products, enhance themselves over the years. They,
That's
get
right.
bottles, they put new ingredients and things. So it might
Mm-hmm.
not work that one time, but not saying that it would never work, eventually.
Right.
So yeah, I love
Yeah.
that point. So I seen that you launched your natural hair business, which is the Curly Hair Fam. So
Yes.
that you will be like moving forward with. I only seen like one post about it, but I didn't see anything else with the Curly Hair Fam. So is this something that Tyler is gonna continue doing, or
So, well, I ended up changing the name. So I changed it to the Natural Hair Fam instead of the Curly Hair Fam.
Okay.
And the reason why I did that was because not everyone who has natural hair has curly hair per se.
Yeah.
So, like, if you have locks, that's natural hair, but it's
Yeah.
not curly.
Right.
So, I wanted to make sure the name was representative of everyone who has natural hair.
Got
And I do have an Instagram page for that as well. But see, that's the thing. There's too many pages going on. So,
See,
it's a lot
Tyler,
of work. It's a lot of
listen,
work.
it is, I don't think people really understand
No.
how much work goes into like being a creator or like showing up for your audience or having a show or being, having this content constantly. It's such hard work, guys.
It
People
is.
take this as like a joke. Like, okay, just take a photo and it's over with. It's a wrap. Let's go. No, especially if you're
Yes.
like kind of a perfectionist and you
Like
like
me.
things done a certain way, you like them looking a certain way.
Right.
God, it takes time. Listen, Tyler, listen, doing flyers can take work. Do you hear me?
No, I bet. I believe
Like,
you.
I mean, just the whole process being in sync, just having things in sync, it really, really does
Yeah.
take a toll and it can kind of get you down. So that's another question I was going to ask you. Like, how is your process when it comes to like all of your content? How do you keep it all like in line and like separated or, just consistent and neatly done? How does that look in Tyler's life?
Yeah, somebody asked me that, like, how do I balance everything? And if I'm being like 100% honest, I don't balance it all. Like, sometimes I end up dropping the ball somewhere. Like, I cannot sit here and act like everything is together because
Yeah,
it's not. It's not.
yeah,
But I just try to take everything, one day at a time. And just recently, like, I bought me a planner to at least write down things because my mind goes 100 miles per hour. I'm always thinking
yeah,
about something. And
yes.
at minimum, I have to at least write things down so I can know what I have to do, when I have to do it, at what time I have to do it. You know, it's
Mhm.
really a lot. So with the Natural Hair Fam, I have it has its own separate Instagram, and what I was trying to do was like create it into its own brand. But
Okay.
I think I'm just going to focus on promoting it on this page just because I do natural hair. I don't think that it needs to have its own brand. I was just trying to test it out and see. But I still do, sell the shirts. I'm wearing one right now, so y'all can see.
Yes, that was my next question because sis, I gotta get me a shirt.
I'm gonna
I,
send you one. I'm gonna send you one.
are you serious?
Yes, I'm gonna send
Tyler?
you one.
What?
Yes,
I
you need to
love
get
your
one.
shirt. The black shirt. Oh my gosh, sis. When I seen it, I was like, oh my God. Like, where is
Yes,
this? Because I never seen it before. When I was scrolling down, I seen it, but I'm
yeah,
like, sis, you got to get these shirts out because they are
you're right.
cute, cute,
It's
cute.
on
I
that
love them.
Instagram page, but I'm
Oh,
like I said, I'm
that's
in
where,
the process of like trying to switch all that, and I probably just talk about it more on this page, and
okay.
just mainly promote it through my YouTube channel since that's where most of the natural hair people are at. Because
Yeah.
trying to do all these pages, ain't nobody got time for that.
It's a lot. It's a lot. And to be real, that's why I took the route that I took. I know some people are like, why don't you make Real Talk Tuesday its own page or brand?
Right,
I feel like my audience is here. So like why not just do what I'm doing with the people that I know already? You know what I'm saying? Like you
right,
guys are my friends, you guys are my family. So I might as well just use my page as,
yeah,
so that's why I took the same route too, because it's just a lot having to control so many pages.
yeah.
I mean, kudos to the people that can do it. You guys, if you have tips, let us know because I'm about like Tyler. It's a struggle. It's a
It
struggle.
is. If you're doing everything by yourself. I know some
It's
people
that
have teams, they
team.
have teams who can work their social media accounts, who can do this, who
Mm-hmm.
can do that. But I don't have no team. I'm doing all of this and working a full-time job and doing
Yes,
photography
sis.
and doing all of these things. It's a lot. And that's why, people ask me how I keep together. I'm like, man, I really don't know. I don't know.
Yeah,
You know,
we
I
have.
just try to prioritize things.
Exactly. By the grace of God, I just
That's
don't look
it.
like I'm crumbling. But listen, it could be a struggle. Okay, it could be a
Yes.
struggle trying to work, trying to do the things that you're passionate about, and just life
Hmm.
itself. Things just come, unexpectedly. So it's like, you got to just
Yeah.
roll with the punches, roll with the punches. And I think that's what an entrepreneur is anyway. You have to roll with the punches because you're not going to
Exactly.
always get the sales. You're not going to always get those views, but that does not mean stop. That does not mean
That's
stop.
right.
And that does not mean stop. And I'm talking to myself.
Hmm.
I'm not preaching to anybody but myself. That does not mean stop. Okay, Joe? Doesn't mean stop. Okay, so what is the easiest way for others to maintain their natural hair since that's something that you love?
The easiest way. The easiest way I would say, and this is something that I had to learn, is just you have to learn what works for your
You.
hair. As you
Yes.
can see, my hair is very coarse. I'm looking at your hair. Your hair is not as coarse as mine, right?
Uh-huh.
So if you are, or if I'm watching a video of yours, let's say you're a YouTuber and I'm watching your video, I
Yeah.
can't expect my hair to come out how your hair is going to come out. And you
Yep.
can't expect your hair to come out how mine is going to come out. I feel like people get so disappointed.
Yep.
They do these
Yep.
tutorials, it don't come out the way. And I'm like, okay, but who are you watching? I'm like, this person
Yep.
don't even have hair that look like your hair. So
And
I
that's
think it varies from person to person, but definitely get
mm-hmm,
to know your hair and what it needs.
mm-hmm. And that goes back to the point that we made about like kind of connecting with our viewers because you
Right.
got to connect with the people that you kind of can like identify with.
That's
Not
right.
you're, you know, some people like get into that, oh, her hair is different, oh, why you like her. No, it's just that I can relate, she
Right.
has the kind of curl pattern I have.
Right.
Maybe that product might work in my hair because it's similar. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So I think that's important. Like you said, you kind of gotta like follow the people that you can relate with in your content world and also in the YouTube world, which I want to
Exactly.
get into, sis. So we need to talk because you are the OG, you know what I'm saying? And I'm just a little beginner over here that wants to be in the YouTube world. So yes, we got to
Sis,
definitely
listen,
that.
I always tell people just get started. Okay? Please, just get started.
Everybody says that, but don't you have to have like the little view, the front? What's that thing called? Like the
The
photo thing
viewfinder?
up, the little music. Since I have none, okay, I have none. I gotta make time to do it. I gotta make the time to like take the photo to make the little header. I don't even know how to make that. If you're on here,
No. No,
that
no, 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 no.
what? Well, help me, sis.
Listen,
Help us.
so
Help.
when I started in 2016, okay, and I still have my very first YouTube video on my channel, which by the way is my most viewed video, which is crazy because that's usually not the case. Usually your very first video is like the trashiest, right? But mine so happened to be my most viewed video. But when I started, all I had was my phone. I
Mm-hmm.
had my tripod. I was in the bathroom. I got a lamp, took the shade off, put
Huh?
it in the front of me, and recorded my video. And overall, the video for that time period is not that bad. And then as far as like, like the picture that you see when you click on the video, people do one of two things. Either they'll take a screenshot of the video,
Mm-hmm.
take a screenshot and then use like some app to put the words over it, or like let's say this is my YouTube video, I'm talking, before the video ends I'm just going smile, so I can make sure the screenshot look good, because some people screenshots it just be like in the middle of them talking and stuff like
Yes.
that. I promise you, listen, it's not that bad. If you need any help when you start, hit me up. This is what I
Tyler,
do.
oh,
I
I'm
help
telling
so
you
many
now. I'm
people.
coming to you, sis. Tyler, I
Please,
need you now. Do you hear me? Because I have
please.
no idea about the YouTube world. No YouTube world. I just been getting my feet wet with Instagram.
Yeah.
So
Definitely let me know. I'll help you.
yes, thank you. I'm
Of course.
excited. I'm excited. So, when it comes to like editing videos and photos, like what tips could you give future photographers or creators that would like to pursue in this career field? Like, what advice would you give to anybody that's trying to maybe start a Instagram or start a YouTube channel? Like, what advice would you give about like the editing process?
So when it comes to YouTube, as far as video, it's really not as bad as people make it seem. I
Mm-hmm.
know with my edits, I feel like that's one of the things that I'm kind of starting to get known for a little bit is like the way I edit my videos. People are always asking me about editing. You don't have to be as extra as I am. That's just how I am.
Right.
But literally everything I know I learned from YouTube, no lie.
Right.
Or I practiced. So like before I put out my first YouTube video, I knew I was gonna record on my phone. I knew, certain things. So I literally just went outside, recorded some plants, recorded some random stuff, put it all together just so I can get a feel of like how editing actually works, how do you cut
Mm-hmm.
things and stuff like that. And so I went into that. And then as far as editing pictures, how I really got into that was like apps on my phone. Like that's how I kind of learned how to edit things. But overall, my style of editing for photography is I try to keep it as natural as possible. I do have my own like bright style that I like to use, but overall, I try not to do the most because you don't want the photo to just be like over edited. I
Okay.
think people can just understand that like less is more
It's,
when it comes to
yeah.
editing. You don't have
Mm-hmm.
to do a whole bunch.
Right. Well, nice. That is such good advice and tips. So, guys, if you are on here and you are wanting to be a photographer into the YouTube world, I hope you guys took those gems because Tyler definitely gave us some tonight. So, Tyler, every show
Oh
have
Lord.
this red bone. So this is the Velvet Ball, Tyler. This is basically going to give your viewers a view of who you are behind the curtain, right? Like we
Oh
said earlier,
geez.
we want to get to know who Tyler is. This is the Real Talk Tuesday, and we are real, raw, and relevant here. So whatever I pull out, I want you to give us your true advice, your true meaning. It could be something that you've experienced, something that you've thought about. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know. Oh, this is perfect. So
Oh,
this is a word. This is a word, and the word is optimistic.
okay. Optimistic.
Yes, optimistic.
So I would say that that's one of the things that I had to work on. Not going
Real?
to say that I was a very negative person, but I definitely could have been a lot more kind to myself, to
Yeah.
other people.
Yeah.
I think it's very important the way you talk to yourself,
Mm-hmm.
that you start to tell yourself that you can actually do things,
Yes.
and that I'm the type of person I will stop myself before somebody else can. So, like I
I,
said, even like using product photography with Brianna as an example, I seen her tweet and I scrolled past it because I'm like, nah, this
yep.
ain't even
Yeah.
anything I can do. And then I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and do it. And I feel like between 2020 and this year, like a lot of things have really been happening for me, and I think it's because I'm starting to talk to myself
Mm-hmm.
better, and just start to tell myself that I can do things even if
Yeah.
I am nervous about doing it. I'll
Oh,
just go ahead and do it and
yeah.
try it. Like what's the worst that can happen?
Right.
The worst
Girl,
that can happen is it's not going to come out good, and okay,
yeah.
don't do it again.
You are talking to me tonight. You hear me? For shout out to my grandma. My grandma joined. Hey grandma.
Hey grandma.
Um, yes, hey grandma. Um, first of all, shout out to her because I don't think I would be as optimistic as I am today. I might tear up. I feel it a little bit.
It's okay.
I wouldn't be this way without her because I, struggled in school. I wasn't the girl that loved school. You know what I'm saying? I never loved school, but I've always been a creator. I've always been artistic when it comes to my
Hmm.
clothing, when it comes to like, just beautiful things. I've always been able to art, you know what I'm saying? Music. That stuff comes naturally to me. Like no work. I've never been taught how to sing or anything like that. But when it comes to like schoolwork, I had to like push myself. You know what I'm saying? I
Hmm.
really, I'm about to tear up. I'm trying not to cry. I had to really like push myself. So even in this world today, I kind of like catch myself like doubting myself, like you said.
Hmm.
And it's like I'm my worst critic. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I think I hold myself back the most part.
Yeah.
Um, I'm trying not to
Yeah.
cry,
I
girl.
know. It's
Whew.
good. Let it out.
I know I'm just a big baby man. I'm always crying, but it's okay. That's who I am, and I'm not gonna be
Yeah.
ashamed of it.
That's
So
right.
yes, like you were talking to me because I feel that same way. I negatively talk. This is the crazy part about me. I can encourage everybody else. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm. It's okay.
Everybody else, but when it comes to me, I doubt myself. You know,
Yeah.
so that's very true. It's very
Yeah.
true. And I feel like you won't get as far as you can when you're that way. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You wouldn't be doing these photos that you're doing if you didn't just jump out there. And sometimes you just have to jump out there.
You do.
So, it's hard. You down yourself. You feel
Hmm.
like there's better people because that's another thing with this social media stuff. You
Yes.
compare yourself to everybody,
Yeah.
and so many people that's doing this now, like even interviews and stuff like that. It's so many people that's just saturated in
Yeah.
so many things, but it's like there's nobody else that's me. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
That's me. I'm the only me
Exactly.
in this world. I'm Joanna, and
That's
God
right.
created me for a purpose, whatever purpose that is. And to you guys, whatever purpose that is for your life, and Tyler, of course, you know what I'm saying? You are walking in your purpose. So that's amazing. Let me stop because I'll just go on and go on. Um, but
But
yes,
no, what you said is true. And like I said, I was the same way. I would always, like I said, I would take myself out of things before anybody else could take me out of it. Everything that I started, it took me a long time to do it. Like even YouTube, like I was like, I thought on YouTube that I
yeah,
wasn't even gonna talk because I don't like the way my voice sounds.
girl,
So you just gonna be up on here in this YouTube just
listen,
what are you
Tyler,
about to
crazy.
do?
That's crazy because I don't listen. This might sound crazy, but I don't listen back to these
You have to get used
because I
to
don't
it.
I don't like to hear my voice. Like I don't
Same.
like to hear myself.
Yeah.
It's a real problem. I
You're gonna have
don't.
to get used to it.
Right. I try to like build from what I remember, but I don't watch myself back. It's crazy. I
Yeah.
don't.
I was the
Um,
same way.
yeah. So it's like, but I know I'm social. Like I'm very social, and like just networking is like a gift, I guess, because a
It
lot
is
of
a
my
gift.
friends are just like, Joanna, how are you so like, how do you do that? And I didn't
Yeah.
realize that until I got older. Like maybe okay, it is hard for somebody to just like jump out there and be like, girl, I love that dress, where did you get that? Like that's nothing for me, you know what I'm saying? That's
Yeah.
nothing for me. That's nothing for me to ask like, how did you do that? Or like me just intrigued about what you're doing, what you got going on, you know what I'm saying? That's never been a problem for me. But when it comes to like me doing it, or
Mhm.
when it comes to just like my own craft, I just am
Yeah.
scared to put it out because I have another business that I'm working on, but I haven't even launched it because I'm scared, of myself.
No.
Like just yeah, and that's another thing with YouTube. Like it's just thousands of viewers,
Yeah.
and with more people comes more critique, you know,
Yeah.
and that can really tear you down. But you really got to be strong and just know who you are. And that's where
Mhm.
I'm trying to get my 30s. I'm about to be 30 this year. And it's like, Joanne,
Okay.
it's time to just really be
Yeah.
confident in who you are. You know what I'm saying? There's only one me. So shout out to my grandma. She's still posting down here
Shout
on
out, grandma.
comments. Yeah, shout out to my grandma. Like, I would not be who I am without her. Like, without her pushing me. She was
Mhm.
the one that believed in me when nobody else believed in me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm
Yeah.
about to cry again. I'm gonna stop. But shout out to you, Grandma. I love you to death. So yeah, man. Do you have anything else to say, Tyler?
I was just say you just need those people like your grandma who are
Yes.
gonna keep you grounded and let you know who you are. Because there was a lot of people when I started doing certain, even when I went natural. I had straight hair all my life. It was straight and damaged. It was so short. Nobody ever said anything about how damaged my hair was, right? It was
Mm-hmm.
damaged, but it was straight, and that was it. When I started to go natural, when I tell you I've never seen so many people concerned about what I was doing with my hair until I started doing twist outs and bantu knots, and people like, oh, so you gonna do something to your hair, or you gonna comb your hair and stuff like that. And I think that's one of the reasons why natural hair is kind of so close to me, because it really had to help me build my own self confidence. And
Right.
I had to understand that I'm beautiful. I look good regardless of if anybody's going to tell me that. If I don't ever
Yeah.
hear it again in my life, I kind of have to be, I have to have that level of confidence within myself. And again, like, it's important to have people in your corner who are going to support you. So I'm going to shout out my husband because he,
Yeah. Shout out to your husband, girl. I'm trying to get one of those one day, Lord. Bless me.
listen, the
30s.
Lord is good. That's all I'm going to say.
30s,
Because
Lord. 30s,
been in
hopefully.
my corner from the jump. Like, all this stuff, I'm talking about from natural hair to photography to all this stuff. He helps me. He helps me. He's getting his degree in May. He's about to graduate, but his degree's in finances. So when it comes to like just pricing and just the whole business side of things, he
Yes.
really helps me, and I appreciate him for that. Because if it wasn't for him, I don't know if I'd be doing this
Yes.
whole photography
I'm
thing
so
the way I'm doing it.
yes. I'm so
So,
glad you touched on that. I usually stop the show at this time, but you know what, Tyler? We're having such a great combo. I'm loving it. So yes, that is so important because I don't think people really realize, like, I'm a creator. I'm very creative, right? But
hmm,
when it comes to business, you have to have that as well as the business side, as in like finance, booking, like just
yeah,
all the paperwork side of things, which that's not my forte. Like
right,
the numbers process. I'm not the best in that. But if you need me to, make you something or create
that's
something
me.
or give you ideas, man, I got that for days.
Right,
What I'm saying? But that is such a great point, and that you guys are bringing it together. Like he's helping you where you're weak.
right.
That's a team, and that's beautiful. Shout out to your husband.
Yeah,
Shout
shout out to
out to
him. He's great.
yeah.
I'm gonna tell you what he told me before when we were even thinking about this. He was like, "So, do you think you can do photography, or is this something that you want to do?" And I was like, "Yeah, like I want to do this." So before I was like, "Oh, I'm just gonna go out here and just give me a camera." He was like, "So, what we're gonna do is you're gonna write out a business plan. You're gonna figure out how, if we purchase
Mm,
this camera, how you're gonna pay for it, how you're gonna make money doing it, because obviously, like I said, photography is not cheap." So I
yeah.
did all of this tedious stuff that I don't like to do. But for me, it's one of those things where if you do this before you even touch a camera, if you do this part that you don't like, it's
Mm-hmm.
showing you where you are. Are you really into this? Or is this just something that you're just kind of infatuated with because you just want to get a camera? Or like, what is it? So I had to do a lot of like groundwork, research, all of that before I even touched a camera. And I'm really glad that I did that, because I think because of that, like, I take it a lot more seriously now, because I was able to put in all that work before I was just like, oh, I got a camera, and I probably would have just stopped. you
Right.
know
Man, this has been great, Tyler.
yes.
Great, great, great information. I am so excited to check you out on YouTube. And guys, go follow Tyler right now. Please give us your tags again, Tyler.
So this is my page for natural hair. So if you're interested in natural hair, this is my page. If you want to see my photography work, go to @TSimone Photography here on Instagram. You can find me on Facebook, all of that. My full business name is Tyler Simone Photography, though. You can find me on Google,
Yes.
all that.
Shout out to Jamila Jacobs. Thanks for tuning in. Your comment is beautiful. Thank you
Oh,
for
that's
your
Jamal. That's
support.
my husband.
Oh, that's your Jamal. Sorry.
It's
I
Jamal
said
A. Jacobs. He got his all together.
Jamal. I am so sorry, sir. I am so sorry. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in. Awesome husband that you are. God bless you guys' union. God bless your business,
Thank
Tyler.
you.
I
Thank
am
you.
so blessed to even be connected to you now. I feel like I have a friend in this photography world and this YouTube world.
Yes. Yes.
I'm super excited to connect and do more work. I do community stuff in Atlanta, so I
Yes.
will be hitting you up if you want to be
Please.
involved or do anything like that, because I love that kind of work and that's what I'm here
Please.
for. So thank you again for joining me
Thank
tonight.
you.
Tuesday. Please, guys, go follow her right now. Go support her YouTube videos. Go watch those hair tutorials and get those tips about photography or content. If you're trying to be a content person on Instagram, YouTube, Tyler is the girl that you need to go and visit and learn from, okay? We all can learn something from somebody else. So you guys have a blessed night. And thank you again, Tyler. I'll see you guys
Thank
in 2 weeks.
you.
You're welcome. Have a good night, guys.
You
Bye-bye.
too. Bye.